Now, this is based on my experiences alone on how to obtain your firearms license in South Australia. Everyone will be different in how they approached it and so forth, and the process will be somewhat the same, very differently on how you actually are. And it is actually defined as a privilege to actually have a firearms license and own a firearm in Australia. So this is pretty much on how to obtain your firearms license in South Australia. If you're anywhere else in Australia, New Zealand, or overseas, I would suggest you check with the local police department or your local government on how to actually obtain your firearms license, and then go from there. So in South Australia, you need to go through the South Australian Police Department and actually apply to get your firearms license. All you need to do is fill out a bit of paperwork, let them complete a police check to see if you're a fit and proper person to actually get the firearms license, and then all you have to do is wait to get the approval to commence the training. Once you get the approval letters for your to complete the training for your firearms license, then you need to actually go ahead and actually search for a company or training organization that will actually do the training for you, but you can only do the training on what you've been approved for. And then actually pay for the courses, pay for the training, pay for whatever, and then once that's all done, go from there. And if you do move anytime throughout the application, you need to give at least 14 days notice, and if you move to a larger property, you then need to let SAPOL know if you want to commence training to get the approval to commence that training, like primary production or anything like that, anything over a certain land size. And then once you've done that training or any extra training, you can then hand it into SAPOL and go from there, and actually hear back once they actually get the justification for you to do that, for you to have that add-on to your license. Now, with the training you're about to commence that you've been approved by SAPOL or your local police department, I'll suggest you start looking for companies while you're still waiting, just so you can walk in, say, yeah, here's the approval letters, can you give me the dates that I can come in and actually complete the training, and whatever is on your application that has been approved for you to do is what they can actually teach you, and the primary source is what they can actually looking for is on how to operate a firearm safely so that you don't injure, harm, or kill anyone, and basic safety things that they're looking for. Once you've actually completed the training from the training organization that has been approved by SAPOL or your local police department to complete the training, they then will send the paperwork off to SAPOL for SAPOL to then approve for you to actually get your firearms license. And once you get SAPOL approve the firearms license for where you live and for you, you then have to double check the information is correct and either pay 1, 3, or 5 years, depending on the license or if there's any restrictions, like whether you're a minor or actually adult. And then once you've double checked everything, you then pay and you get your firearms license so you can commence from there. Now, once you've actually obtained your firearms license, you will need to know the storage laws and what you need to actually have for the safe, and that will depend on what sort of firearms you wish to own, and that will depending on state by state or state by territory, and depending on where you live, the local police department where you live will tell you in writing what safes you can and cannot own for whatever you want to own for a firearm, and what sort of security systems need to be in place for you to maintain that storage conditions. So now you can actually complete the application by doing whatever needs to be done, by actually licensing requirements as well as storage requirements. And note that this is only more of a guideline. What I experienced, it might be similar to what I experienced, or it might be different on the way they actually get you to obtain your firearms license. But all you need to do is actually apply in the first instance to see whether you are suitable to actually obtain a firearms license. And hopefully you tune in for the next video.